Charles, you had mentioned the movie Birth of a Nation, so I was able to see it as well. And I just would like to encourage everybody to pretty much go out and support the film. I know, especially when it comes to black films, it's important pretty much the first weekend to go out and support it, because that's what the critics use as a determining factor of how well the movie will do in the future, and if it was a good movie or not. And I know I did read one article that pretty much said, like, the title of the article was like Birth of a Flop. And then it went into and just even the title itself kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. But the author was pretty much kind of going into the fact of all this money that was put into it, and how it only made, I believe it was 7.1 million.
The studio, I don't really know exactly all the breakdowns of how the money works, but yeah, it would have been really great if this weekend the movie would have just came out and just did crazy box office numbers, because everybody, it's still the entertainment industry, and so people want to make sure that they're making their money, and studios got to make their money back. But what I will say is that we also got to use our dollars. The black dollar matters, you know what I'm saying? And we got to use our dollars towards things that we want to see more of, or just see. And what I realized today is that we didn't put, maybe he didn't put Nate Parker, maybe he didn't put enough medicine in the candy, for us. That's the unfortunate part, that sometimes when you're out there and you want to, put out a message, it's some people are gonna still miss it, and the reality is that what he was putting out, like, for him to raise the money, to produce this film, and to by himself and direct it and write it and go and then get it, what happened to Oscars,
and to go against what people told him to do. Like, people told him, don't tell this story, don't do this, don't do that, and he was like, no, this story needs to be told, I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna do. And
last year it was Oscars So White, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was really up in arms about us not being involved in the process. So I would just encourage everybody that, it was hard for me to get out this weekend. I can't even lie to you. So, I have a wife and kids, but we still was able to make it happen. And my brother's probably gonna see it next weekend or this week. And so we're gonna continue to go. You know what I'm saying? And so. It's just one of those things where he's the one who stepped out and was able to make this movie come to life through his will, and I hope that there are many more like that, many more stories that come out, and I was very proud. Just to see, honestly, as a black man, as a father, just to see, like, wow, like, that was a very powerful story, and it made me really feel encouraged as a black man, just to see, like, wow, like, we're some really strong, resilient, amazing people, and we've been through some of the worst atrocities known to human history, and so for us to just keep striving to go and grow is amazing. And that Turner story was a person that he decided, he said enough is enough at some point, and that was what he chose to do, and he used and the main thing I would just say is that he was smart and he was educated and he knew how to read, and that was the thing that you can't.
But I'm sorry, just a quick tidbit that
definitely.
At that time they were able to, like, read and write and do those things, and post that rebellion, they immediately took that away. Like, immediately. It doesn't mean that every slave during that time was able to do that, but it wasn't something that was looked at
as illegal.
As
illegal,
not illegal, but as what's the word I'm trying to look for? Like,
frowned upon?
No. As a threat.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily looked at as a threat.
Yeah.
And so when you put the two together, like, oh, wait a minute, reading, writing, rebellion, you know what I mean? Putting these things together, oh no, we have to put a stop to it.
Yeah, because what you realize is, and I'll just end with this, is that they, the thing is that, I think that him being able to read, him going to different plantations and seeing different conditions of different plantations, he was just able to educate him. He was just able to realize that his mind wasn't enslaved. That's what I want to say. Is that you can't, somebody when it's one overseer, two overseers, and this one gun that you gotta doggone do the damn you gotta it's got a musket in there or whatever, so you gotta pump up it with like shells and all that other stuff. Like, yeah, you only get one shot off. So we got 50, 60 slaves on this plantation, and we got one dude with one little musket rifle. Let's get this guy and get up out of here. And so I think that's just kind of showed you like his mind wasn't enslaved at a very young age. He was very aware of mentally what the world had to offer him, and that was through the Bible, which is just a very I think we're gonna dive deep into that and
next week.
Next week. And I just had to get that off, and so I just appreciate y'all listening to me. I just love the fact that the brother went out there, he saw what he wanted to do, he made it happen, and I just hope that everybody goes out and support him.
The moral of the story is go see it this week so you can join the conversation.
Don't get the bootleg.
I have a quick question though, because I didn't see it. Do you think that all the allegations that have come out is the reason why it didn't do better than 7 million?
I hope not.
I hope not too. I know based on the article that I was referencing, that some people were basically saying that his response to it, because he had to come out and address it, and he addressed it before, but of course, right, since the movie is coming out, they scratched up the scabs of old wounds.
Just so we know that, just so we're clear, the allegations, and I really don't even want to go down this road. Well, he was that, and also they have been on his Wikipedia page since he's been an actor. Just
But that's why I said when you're coming out with something controversial, right? Everything that you could potentially do to like stop the flow of it, you're going to do. You know what I mean? Because Birth of a Nation in itself was a controversy. You know what I mean? Because the original film was based on the uprising of the KKK. So he used it as like a play on, you know what I mean? Because during that time, people were like excited, like, yeah.
The president at the time gave it a whole review. But
so I think, to be honest, to answer your question, the things that are going on right now, I think partially some black people are tired of watching slave movies, and so they're kind of like, okay, I don't want to see another slave movie. I don't want to have to go and see this. And then there are other people who are like, I don't even want to see this because I don't even want to be brought back to that space, or I don't want to have to feel guilty, or I don't want to, because it brings up a lot of stuff. That's not a movie you're going to go see and it's fun and exciting and you're laughing and you know what I mean? Like, it's a very heavy movie, and you know that going into it. So unless you're ready to be in that space, I think a lot of people were just kind of like
real talk. A brother, grown man. I was fighting back tears at certain points, but a grown man broke down, like sitting on the other side, aisle next to me. At a certain point in the movie, he just broke out crying. People were looking at him like, dang. But it was some sad situations, and you definitely don't. People like to go to movies and have a good time and smile and laugh, and sometimes life isn't just smile and laugh and jokey. You know what I'm saying? There's real stuff going on in the world, and we need to understand, like, we've made it through a lot of atrocities, and we came here and we weren't even human. We weren't considered humans. You know what I'm saying? We fought just to be considered humans, let alone like all the other rights that we're still fighting to this day to get. Like, so just to see certain things, we have to remind ourselves, because we are hard on ourselves as black people in general. We're hard on ourselves, and we don't realize like how far we even have come in the first place. And I think that we got a lot farther to go, but like just to see like, yo, we're making progress, and we still are making strides. And like Ice Life said, last week, he was like, just us being here is a miracle in general. So, shout out to our ancestors. That's what I'll say. I'll end with that. Shout out to everyone's ancestors that had to endure the Middle Passage, that had to endure the slave trade, and anybody that just endured the Jim Crow era. You know what I'm saying? Just that endured it, so we could be here and just living our lives and living this, piece of the American dream and piece of that pie that we were able to get our hands on.